What up, people? How's everybody doing? I hope that everybody's doing good. I'm doing well. This is here. Here it's 11:59, and yes, this is live. Maria's World, late night. Maria's World. Can you hear that? Do you hear me? Live Maria's World. No, I keep confusing Live Maria's World with Live with Maria. Okay, so anyway, guys, how is everyone doing? I'm doing good. I'm glad. I'm almost happy that I'm doing this. I'm doing this late. I'm very happy that I'm doing this late, actually, because, um, you know, um, I find myself in a really awkward position with certain people, and I really, like, I'm talking about passive being. Is it good to be passive? Like, to have that kind of trait to be passive where, like if you're too passive, people, you know, treat you like, oh, well, she's passive and I can just say or do whatever I want with her or him because, they just have this very passive attitude. You know, I want to say something about that because it's good to be passive in some situations where you have to have self-control, especially in the my dog, especially if you are in the working field or you have a job and you have to really control yourself. I had to acquire that. I really had to um study myself on how to be passive. I used to be very aggressive. I still am, but I try to really not go to the point where I lose it. Because I really, really, really have, like this thing about you should always treat other people kindly. And you should always treat people like you would want to be treated. But some people find it in themselves that, they have, because you are passive, they think that, well, she's passive or he's passive, and she's more likely not to respond to my aggressiveness. Like, so most people are aggressive and they really don't give a shit how you think or what you think or whoever thinks, you know, wrong or good about them. They don't go around life, you know, uh, feeling sorry for the person that they are. You know what I mean? And so I'm not going to lie to you. I came across two people today that, you know, if they had if they had done this to me, like spoken to me in such a way that they think that, well, I don't like trolls, or I don't like people to do certain things to me. I don't like people to troll on my page or whatever. That's okay. I want people to know one thing, and this has been going on now for a while, okay? I think this is in my part that I should really make this clear, because sometimes people, have a misunderstanding, and because you are the way that you are and you were brought up in a certain way. I was not brought up to be, by the way, passive. I actually had to really become this passive person so that I can, you know, how would I say, so that I can gain, the things that I want. Because if sometimes you need to be aggressive where, it calls for you to be aggressive. You know what I mean? And then there are some situations where being passive is not really good, especially if you have a person that's aggressive, extremely aggressive, and not physically. I'm talking about their personality, and they are very aggressive in people, or that person is very aggressive. And so then, you find yourself like, yeah, I sometimes I find myself like, oh, like really like, okay, this person is the way they are. And so like your whole demeanor, just like, the fact of the matter is that my demeanor is really not like that, but I try my best to control, like if you are a passive person, try to control your urge to, especially in business, God, especially in business situations where you find yourself that you have this one person that is very aggressive, and and sometimes personalities clash because one is passive and the other one is extremely aggressive. And so what you want to do is, if that falls into conflict with, you trying to network with someone, and they feel intimidated because they feel it is, like they feel they have to protect themselves against others trying to emanate, or or try to take from their ideas, and that's when you have to make it clear in a very passive aggressive way that you're not here to intimidate anyone, and you're not here to take any ideas from anyone, you know but unfortunately people are not like that. People, they are very, very protective of what they have earned, in their career. And I totally respect that. But when someone becomes almost to the point of really, to the point where, they're really come off as really harsh, and you're wondering to yourself like, shit, what did I do to for this person to act this way, and not even knowing me, you have to give people a chance to get to know that person. And I know that not everyone is gonna like, and a lot of people don't like passive people. A lot of people do not like passive people. They really don't. Because they feel like, oh, well, she's or he is passive. I can do whatever the hell I want with them because I know that they won't do anything, or they won't respond back to me, or, or they really, what they really are is really trying to intimidate you to a point where you will be scared off and not want to do any business with them. It is okay to be aggressive. It is okay to be aggressive only in the situation where you have known a person and they have fucked you over. And I understand that, like if you have a person that, like if you meet that person and you're right off the bat, you tell them, well, look, this and this and this and this, and this is the way that I act, and that's okay too. But sometimes being very aggressive can actually, like lead you to not having people to network with you. And some people feel like they don't need other people. They don't need to network because they're already in a level where they're okay. And that's okay, but sometimes, like I like to network. Like there are a lot of people in New York. Like I'm not in New York, I'm in Las Vegas, and I find that people in Las Vegas, to be totally honest with you, are not very, like networking people, and their networking to me is really not networking. It's really like, if you have this idea in your mind that, I need you, and in reality, it's like they really, really go out there and really make you, like don't step territories. You know what I mean? And that's not networking. Networking is like you have to help other people. You have to, grow your business on networking, and not be so aggressive or not inviting, to have different people in your business, whether social media or whether you're an entrepreneur in clothing or whatever. You know what I mean? It's very important that people understand that networking is just not about, like I find a lot of people here that in Las Vegas, like their networking here is like, let's have lunch and let's network. You know what I mean? Uh, Really, people should take classes on networking because that's not what networking is about. And it's not really about either talking, um, about how you have invested in your business. It's about growing a business and flourishing and making it, like as one. Like, okay, like if I have a business, I'm not just going to stay in one thing. You need to expand and you need to get to know people. And then some people are not very like they really, like they say, I mean, I don't want other people in my business, or I don't like trolls. And let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you straight off, and I've always said it in my YouTube, and I've always said it in my other, in Facebook. Like, you're always gonna have some fucker. I'm gonna be honest with you. You're always gonna find some freaking asshole who's gonna freaking troll you. Okay? I have trolls in my page. Okay? And let me tell you something. There's sometimes I don't even want to deal with people. I'd rather be talking here and talking shit than in reality, having to deal with people who feel like, like, okay, they can overpower you and feel like, oh no, well, if you come into my business, like it's okay, but, don't step, don't step in don't step the boundaries. If I've had people step boundaries with me. You know what I mean? And it's not really about me, but it's really about, and I've really been really passive with people, like people that I've known. I've been passive with them, like really, really passive. Like if they really knew who I really was, I wouldn't have any kind of connection with anyone because people would not like me. And what I'm saying about that is that, you know, I have learned to be, passive because I know that sometimes, yeah, you need aggressiveness to get what you want, and there's also going to be competition. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not here for the competition. And a lot of people who are in social media are like, I am for competition. I am, you know, all that. And I want to be on that level where I want to compete. I don't want that. I'm looking at a other kind of picture of, I want to help my community. I want to talk on a one-on-one, or I want to talk to people. You know what I mean? Even if I don't have shit on my page right now, I really want to talk to people. I want to get to know people mentally. I want to know other people's experience. I want to get to know people who live good lives, bad lives, who people who have walked, different kinds of paths in their lives, and how they have changed from A to B. And most people are not down for that. I've had, a very shaky, in this year, I've had a lot of shaky, relationships where, in business wise, I've said to myself, is this person convenient for me? Because sometimes people will try to find a way to cross you, and in that sense, I was very passive. I was more thinking like, how can I start my social media, and I was looking onto people who were not looking to really benefit us as a team, but more like to benefit themselves. And that's okay, but sometimes people don't want to spend that time to promote you. They want to really promote their show, and they want to promote them and their show. It's not some people think that teamwork is really not necessary, especially if you are in a competitive field. Okay? So many of the times, like I said before, I've had situations where, I've been passive because I want to, come out to, come out as being friendly, or, try to maintain, relationships business wise where, I can, that we as people can grow, like you can learn from me, I can learn from you, and most people don't want that. A lot of people today, it's all about, if, I'll help you, but then, don't try to, you know, copy what I do or whatever. And in real, everybody's doing exactly the same thing. Nobody's doing anything really out there that's really any different. You know what I'm saying? We all are here for a purpose. You understand? We all are here for a purpose. Um, Maybe for a different kind of purpose, but we're all here for the same thing. And we all want to succeed. And then there are those who just want to chill and just want to, enjoy what they love most, and they're passionate about it. You know what I mean? And that's good. When you are a person that is passionate about something, and it really shows, like you have passion for to help people, to help the community, to help people, to solve um, issues, problems, make a solution to uh, ongoing things that happen in the community, like homelessness, um, you know, uh, poverty, uh, you know, medical, or just shelter, and or people who are ill, who are going through cancer or leukemia, when we all have that purpose where we want to do good, not only for that person, but also do good for you. You know what I mean? And also feel good about it, that when you do it, you say, I have done something and I made a difference today. And some people don't really want to make a difference. Really? Kobe? Really? Get down right now. Come on. Get down. You're ruining my shade. Get down. Thank you, Kobe. Good boy. Good boy. So some people are not for that. And yeah, you do charity work and all of that, and and then just some people are just, they want to be in their own circle, and that's okay too. I mean, you, you know, you, I don't try to fight. I don't try to fight the gravity of life, is what you call it. I don't try to fight gravity, because when you fight gravity and you fight that, it all, it turns the other way. But I really, like, to tell you the truth, I love doing YouTube. I find like there's less pressure, and there's less, and even though I'm not really like, YouTube is not really making money out of me, and I'm just here talking, and I'd rather be doing this, to tell you the truth. I have no drama. I don't have people wanting to compete, because I already know that there are people who are way in this community of YouTube. I already know that there are people who are veterans at this, and they've done this like for years. You know what I mean? And I don't have to worry about anyone. And it's so different because, people are straight up here. Like, if you have like some kind of, if you're not truthful to the audience, and you're not truthful to the viewers of YouTube, they'll actually call you out, and they'll say, Maria, like, you didn't do this right, and you were giving the freaking wrong information, and why, like that, like, and it, like, the community here in, like, in YouTube is totally different. Like, I have met people on here, and the very few that I have met are not really people who are looking out to compete, because they already established what they have, and they're not really, like, they're not all drama and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I like. I don't like any drama, and I don't want people to think that I'm on there, like, I'm here to take any shit away from them, because I'm not here to take away anything from anyone. I don't need anything from anyone. I can do shit on my own. Like, if I do something, and I do it for you, because I sincerely want to do it for you. And maybe you don't need me right now, but maybe in the future you may. You know what I mean? And it's like, like, people make me laugh. Like, okay, how many people troll on my fucking page, and I'm not even saying, and like, I'm not, like, people never not trolling here, but they troll on my Facebook page. Is like so pathetic and so stupid. Like, like, oh yeah, like, I don't want people taking away my material. What material? It's like, you're not doing anything different than anybody in Facebook. It's like, everybody in Facebook has a freaking, agenda, and, and everybody has like freaking, oh yeah, like, okay, let's go and do some kind of event so we can freaking network and whatever. And that's all good. Nobody's taking ideas from anyone, actually. You're not doing anything that I can't do either, and I don't want to do, because if you have something that I like, and you have material that I think is like super badass. I want to promote it, and it's not, it's to help each other, not to freaking, do you harm. And I have heard this, and this is why I'm bringing it up. Like, a lot of people think, like, okay, she's so passive that, like, she won't say anything, and I know that she's scared or this. And I'm not scared of anyone. I'm I respect my colleagues, and I also respect people who do hard work, and they're hardworking people, and I don't care if you don't care about my opinion, because, like, you don't care, neither do I. I don't care either. If you don't care, then neither do I. You understand? And that, if you don't care about me, and you don't respect what I do, and you think that I'm competing with you, or that I'm trying to take something away from you, I don't want you as a partner. I don't want you as a business. I don't want to, and I'm telling you the truth. If you don't want to work with me, neither do I. It's as simple as that. If you don't want me to work with you, and you're so worried about that I'm gonna do something to you, or you're so worried about that I'm gonna take something away, I don't want to have anything from anyone that I haven't earned myself. Because I know what kind of person I am. I don't need you to deal with me, because way before you came along, I was okay. You understand? And I'm talking about business relationships. Like, if you don't want to deal with me, and you are like so defensive about, who I am and what I'm about, well, I'm just a person who just wants to do the same thing you're doing, surviving and trying to pick up, my social media. How I do it shouldn't concern you or anyone. You know what I mean? Like, just like if how you do it shouldn't concern me at all. As long as you're doing it, that's what matters. As long as you're doing it, and the way you feel comfortable the way you're doing it, that's what matters. You know? I'm not out to here to get anything from anyone. Okay? I can do shit on my own. I mean, like right now I'm doing it on my own. I have my own apartment here. And I'm not rich. I don't have any money. I barely even have supporters. You know what I mean? Like, what makes you think that I want something from you? You know what I mean? I don't need to get anything from anyone, because I support me. I support me. And the way I do things is the best way that I can do it. You know what I mean? I don't need to, and it makes me angry, because people think that I'm actually, trying to take something away from them. And I've heard this several times. Like, I really have heard this several times, and it annoys me. Like, this is when I get really angry. Like, when I start like bawling, I also get very angry, because people come out and they, like, oh, because she's so passive, and then you say little fucking agendas, like little shit that is not even bothering me that you said it, but to even mention that I know these, or this or that, baby, I don't know anything. You know what I know? I know that I am surviving today. I know that I am alive today. I know that I'm breathing today. I know that I have eaten today. I know that I woke up, that I'm blessed that I woke up. I'm blessed that each and every day I wake up. And that the only thing that I have to offer to people is my insight and my knowledge and my wisdom, and the lessons that come along with that. How you perceive what people want or what you think people want and how people act or how they act towards you, that's on you. That's not on me. That's not on me because I'm not that person. Okay? I'm not out to get anybody's nothing. Okay? But don't mistake my passiveness for a person that's weak, for a person that you think that you can walk all over, for a person you think that I'm not aware. I've been through too many shit for anyone to say to me of how I am. You don't know what paths I've been through. You don't know who I am. You don't know where I come from, and you don't know how the hell I was raised for you to even assume that. And it doesn't matter that you didn't say it. It's the way that it came out. It's the way that you said it. Okay? That's all it is. That you give a shit and that you don't give a shit. Well, I can give a shit less. I really don't care. Okay? Just like if you don't want to ever watch me or whatever I have to offer, that's okay too. Like I have, offered people like, oh, okay, you want to, you want to make business with me or, you want to, but you know something? I don't need that. And I don't want it because I'm fine just the way I am. And whether I make it or not really is not really that important. It really isn't. If I can get like just one person to really realize that dreams can really be possible and that you really have to struggle every single day to make it. And that there are going to be people that are going to knock you down. There are going to be people who are going to knock you down, and they're going to knock you down really good. But just remember that, you just saw a side of me that's the way I really am, and that I don't deal with people. If I like you, I'll deal with you. If I care about you, I will deal with you. If you mean something to me, I'll deal with you. If I don't like you, I will not be loyal to you. If I don't like you, I will not deal with you. As a matter of fact, if you've crossed me, I will not deal with you. Okay? And yeah, just like you are all stuck up in the nose, so am I. Okay? And that's the way I feel. And it doesn't matter, what people think about you. Because people are never going to be satisfied, whether you're passive aggressive, whether you are aggressive, whether you are a timid or shy person. Don't ever let people walk all over you just simply because they feel like walking all over you, just because they feel like, oh yeah, I can really get on this one because she's not going to say anything to me. No, I can defend myself, and I can also say things to you the same way you say them to me. Only that I don't deal with people in that sort of way because I have too much respect for people. But you know what? I'm going to stop having so much respect for people because people are not having respect for me. They're not respecting who I am. They're not respecting the person that I am. They're not really appreciative of who I am as a person and what I have to offer and what I'm giving in return. And people really don't give a shit about that, really. It's all about like, if you bounce with me, I'll bounce with you. But if you're not bouncing with me, I won't bounce with you. Well, guess what? I'm bouncing alone and I want to bounce on my own. I don't need anyone to bounce with me, roll with me, down with me, fuck with me, be with me. I don't need that. because I am who I am, okay? And I've been through hell and back. I'm not the only one who's been through hell and back, but I do, and I will tell you, I do appreciate a person who is a hardworking person. I respect a person who is working hard for what they do, and I do respect people who, in turn, give to the community and give everything that they have to offer. But don't come out, saying shit that I don't really care. Like I don't care what you say. I don't care. I don't care what you think, because in the long run, those who are trolling me, if you are trolling me and you're trying to sway people away from me, or sway whatever, or you're trying to like make me think that, like I need you. No, I don't really need anyone. I'm here alone. Look, all by myself in my apartment. I'm happy. Believe it or not, I am. I'm happy. I'm happy the way I am. I'm happy that I am not every person. I'm happy that I don't have to compete with anyone in order to succeed. I don't need that, because I am me. And if you don't like me, that's your loss, man. That's not my fucking loss. You don't like me, you don't like me. I'm not gonna, and like I said, I don't kiss fucking ass. I don't kiss ass. I try to network with people. I try to network because I think that I can learn from people. I'm always the observer, like I like to observe. It doesn't mean that I'm passive. Like I said, I steered away from the subject about passiveness, but this is and has to do about passiveness. That when you are in a business where it's social media and a lot of people are competing, try not to compete so much, okay? Because, sure, yeah, you'll get a lot of sponsors. I have none. And I don't give a damn if I don't have any sponsors. I don't care. Where can I be in the next 5 years? I really don't know. I could be dead in 5 years. I can even be dead tomorrow, but at least I spoke my truth. And that's what matters. You know what I mean? And I may not be doing what you're doing or whatever, the next person. But you know what? I know this much, and I tell you this. I am proud of myself. Today, I gave back to the community, man. I gave back. And I'm proud of myself, look. Just to show you that I am not a fucking faker. Look. I'm not a fake, man. I'm real. I'm the real fucking deal. Okay? And you know what? You know why I show this? I really don't have to show anybody, but they thanked me today. I did a phone-a-thon today. I could have kept my mouth shut. I could have been proud all by myself, but I did actually a phone-a-thon today at the UNLV. I'm proud of myself. I thought that I wouldn't even be able to do it, but sometimes it's better to keep the mouth shut than to say shit. Sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut instead of talking a lot of shit. But I am proud of myself. Look. Okay? So, why am I saying this? I give back to the community. Today, I did a phone-a-thon, and we raised money. We raised money today. Okay? And it's to keep a community for ongoing education, for adults, like seniors. And I respect that, like I respect the things that I do for others. I respect that. I respect what, you know, of how we can give back to a community. Not just, just say you're going to do something and then not do it. Sometimes I'll do something and I won't say it. But yeah, like those kinds of things matter to me. You know what I mean? And it's important. It's important to me what I do, and giving back to a community is important, you know? And so, don't judge people. Don't judge people just because somebody else said something, or because you feel like that person may not help you, or you feel like, well, a lot of people have a lot of shit, a lot of gripe, a lot of stuff going on in their heads, and, it's their loss. But, you know, um, like I said, sometimes being passive is not very good. Sometimes we have to stand up for ourselves and stand up for what we believe in and stand up for the person that we are. Basically, people, yeah, like I said before, people will run you over. They'll literally run you over because they feel like she's passive, and she's not going to do anything because, I have this attitude where I can just say fuck off, and, like, she won't say anything. And sometimes we have to listen to people when they say certain things to us, and they say, well, why aren't you just sticking up for yourself? You have to listen to people and believe what people say to you. If somebody says to you, like, I am this, believe that they are. If somebody tells you that they're going to do something and they are who they are and they're telling you, believe it. Because eventually that person is going to show you their true colors. You just have to wait. But they will. Eventually they will. But believe what people say to you. Believe it. And learn not to be so passive. It's okay to be a little bit passive, but it's okay to be aggressive in times when you need to be aggressive. You know what I mean? And when, like, being aggressive to get what you want is good. Being passive can also be a good thing, especially when you're trying to do things that, will get you there. So sometimes it's good to have, depending on what you want, sometimes being passive can be a good thing, or being aggressive can be a good thing. But you have to balance it out. Being passive aggressive is okay, but being too much of something, like being too much of aggressive, is not good. And being too passive is not good, because people will literally walk all over you. And then if you're aggressive, then you want to walk all over others. So that's not good either. But also to determine someone as, because they're passive, that it's okay to walk all over them, it's not okay. Because sometimes when that person is passive, you don't know to what point their passiveness is. So don't jump the gun in trying to be too aggressive and trying to, think that because that other person, is, their demeanor is, not looking like a person who is, would stand up for themselves. Well, that's not true. Sometimes passive people who are very subtle. And so, and that's a good trait to have. If you're subtle, that's very good. You know, um, so yeah. But like, I hope that everybody has a great evening. I mean, I know I could be here like forever. It's already 12:44. And I could stay here and just like look at whatever I am looking at. And and just like just be here. And just be here. And just be here. So anyway, like man, I don't even have a damn TV to look at. So I have my own cell phone, you know. I look at movies through my cell phone. That's the way it is. For now, you know. But yeah. Hopefully somebody will come online. If they want to talk about something, we could talk about it. I highly doubt it because it's like a Wednesday and people are like asleep. Only the vampires are awake. I am a vampire. I love being awake at night. Like this is my, like my time. Like I really love it. Um, but anyway, yeah. Like, oh, I have my phone. Like, yay, I can be free. Look, free hands. I have to buy like a stand for my. Oh shit, I have to buy a stand for my phone so that way I can be hands free. Cause I'm just like I have my wires right now. I have my wires. I bet you guys can't hear me. It don't matter. Anyway, you probably can't hear me, but because I don't have anybody online. But anyway, like I don't know. But anyway, I got a pen. I got a little bag and stuff like that. So too bad that my regulars. I hope that Susan. Big shout out to my Susan Thomas, man, my sis. I hope that she's doing okay. I hope that she's feeling better. I hope that you're out of the hospital. I miss you. I miss you so much, my sis. I miss my sis, Susan Thomas. I also miss Rodolfo, who's always here. And Jules. They always follow me. Those are the only three that follow me. Otherwise, I got nobody that follows me. And I got my 17 viewers my 17 subscribers who don't even stay tuned. Oh, Lord. Like, if you're going to subscribe, at least put on the notification bell to see, when I'm online, people. But anyway, yeah. Like, I really like, I don't need, like, a lot of light, especially, like, when I do my live, I don't need, like, outside light, and it's so way better. Like the lighting is so much better. It's like way prettier. Like, I don't know, you look so bright and it's really nice. I like it. I have no filters, believe it or not. I have no filters. None whatsoever on this thing. But I really like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, tomorrow I have an appointment. I have an appointment from a heart doctor. I have it at 5:30. I was going to do my phone-a-thon yesterday. I mean, I was going to do my phone-a-thon today, but because I didn't have I thought my appointment was going to be early. That's what I mean. I thought my appointment was going to be at 9:30, but then they switched it to 5:30. Oh shoot! You know what I forgot? I forgot to go to my appointment on the 30th. Oh no, I didn't know. That's my other appointment. I totally forgot. I changed it for December 11th. I forgot because I had another appointment or something like that. But anyway, I was gonna do my charity work, my phone-a-thon, which I enjoyed very much. They had a lot of good food. That food was so good, like tacos, rice. Oh my god! And then they had what else? They had nachos. Oh my god, these people, they have such good food. Like, oh, you know where it came from, the food? Pollo Loco. Oh, Pollo Loco, it was so good. Oh my god, that chicken. Oh my god. It was really good. So then the majority of the people, when I called them, there were hardly no people. It's like, okay, this is the time. This is the time to actually do this. Okay, I'm going to actually do this. Okay, people, if you are a member, or even if you're not a member and you want to donate to the Ali um, lifelong learning, lifelong learning at the UNLV, well, tomorrow's your chance, okay? Tomorrow's your chance to donate to the Lifelong Learning Institute of UNLV, and you can go to the UNLV office. Is the 500 building, okay? But then you can call. I don't know their number because I was actually doing telethon today, and they have the phone number. But if you want to go to the Ali, you can go to their office, and it's the 500 building, okay? And it's like if you're international, also you can also try to call. I don't know their phone number because I don't know it by heart, okay? But then again, like I said, you can find it out, and it's the, let me see if I got it. Okay, it's right over here. It's the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at UNLV. UNLV. And if you want to make a donation, and if you're a member, and and you have been a member for a long time, you may want to donate, and you can donate any kind of amount. It doesn't have to be like 1,000, but that would be good too. But I'm just saying, you can donate any amount that you like, or you can make a pledge. And like I said, you can come into the office. There's a building, and it's the 500 building, and their staff would be very happy for you to donate or make a donation, and they would be very happy to help you. So yeah, annually they have their phone-a-thon. They have their phone-a-thon annually. That's okay. I'm actually doing the phone, but I'm actually doing a live. So if anybody wants to donate, you may do so, okay? You can donate any kind of amount of money. So I don't know if I'm even supposed to do this, but I'll do it because I go to the, and I am a member of the UNLV, of the Osher Lifelong, and I am a member. I am a student there. So yeah, like I am a member, I should say. I am a member, and so if you are a valued member, like I said before, if you want to make a donation, any kind of donation, you can do so, and we will be very thankful for your donation. So there you go. And yes, I am also going to donate. So if you're trying to ask me that over in the future, yes, I am going to donate. Of course, I have to donate if I am representing, the Osher Lifelong, UNLV Lifelong Learning Institute, then I should also do the same. Wouldn't it be funny if I'm asking for donations and then I don't donate, which is very unfair and not nice. So anyway, I know that a lot of people are going to be working, today, and they're going to be waking up, and so anyway, I like this song. I have no rights to this song, by the way, but I don't give a damn. Okay, well, maybe I should plug in some people already. So, yeah. No, you know what? I'm not going to plug in anybody. You know, I'm going to plug in myself. If you still want to watch my show is Live with Maria late. This is late Live with Maria. And if you want to go into my social media, it's Mawipa Social Media. Please follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. And on Instagram, I have 2 pages. It's Maria Manzar, and it's spelled Marial, like in Larry, M like in Maria, N like in Nancy, Z like in zebra, R like in Robert. And then I have another page, which is Mawipa, Mawiapia, Mawipa. And then I have, of course, my Facebook page, which is Mawipa Social Media, just like here, Mawipa Social Media. And then I have my show, Live with Maria. Okay? And then I have, of course, this one, which is Late Night Live with Maria. Like I said before, if you are interested in being in my show, don't hesitate. Give me a thumbs up if you want to be on my show, and I'll contact you. I already have somebody who I have in mind who I want them to be on my show. So, yes. But I'm going to make it possible. I'm going to make it possible. And I'm not going to give up, of course. I'm not going to give up on what I want to do. But anyway, like I said, if you're interested, give me a thumbs up. And we can, talk about when we can get together. Okay? And so, yeah, if you want me to promote, your brand, or you have an event that's coming up and you want to promote it, you may do so on my page. Okay? And well, everyone, I guess that the our Democrats have won. So we are back, in some ways. So, which is really good. I'm glad that some of the Democrat Party have won. We finally got our blue back together. And hopefully America can be the way that it was before. Hopefully we can get, I really hope that one day we can get this president impeached. Like, he should be out of here. Really. And, yeah. So, like, I really want that president really out of here, because he's not a nice president. He's just like, he has divided our people. He's also has divided our country and has made it, like what it used to be in 1950s, And I know that racism has always been, but it seems to me like now is more prevalent than ever, because he has made it a point in trying to even make, you know, the, like the law, like very aggressive, and that's what I mean in that sense. Like, that is bad to have aggressiveness like that, where you have a lot of people who, used to be not quiet, but, he has awakened racism even more. And so, our country now is divided due to that. You know what I mean? And so we need to get America back to a better place, and stop the hatred and the violence, even authorities against people, and people are now fighting against each other and hurting each other because of all the hatred towards each other. And it's really sad that we are, instead of progressing, we are regressing. And it's really, really, that is really what we're showing our children. And we are the ones who are setting the example for our children, that it's okay to behave this way in society because it's acceptable. And it's not acceptable because I just saw something really, really so disrespectful. And something is, sometimes our very own people who hurt each other. And that's also another thing that's very sad. And, we're seeing that um, quite frequently. I saw this twice. I've seen this where we have, students disrespecting the teachers, and we also have teachers who are disrespecting, students. And so it has become to a point where now kids are not respecting, the teachers, and you see that the students are putting their hands on the teachers, and also vice versa, where you see teachers putting their hands on students. And back in the days when I was young, we would not ever dare put our hands on a teacher and disrespect a teacher, because that was forbidden. That was a no-no. But like I said, the generation of today has changed so much into a generation where there's no morals, they don't care, they don't respect, and it's basically like, we can do whatever we want, and and we don't have to respect anybody. It's almost like, like students and teachers are almost like bullying each other. You know what I mean? And that was never seen in my days. Like, in my days, we couldn't do that, not even to speak bad to a teacher. I mean, I remember when I was in Catholic school, the nun would take a ruler, and she would literally hit our palms, you know what I mean? Like, she would hit our palms really hard with the ruler, and I never died of any, and I haven't died, and, the kids need to be taught this. They really need to be taught how to, respect, and we need to go back to our old school ways, because now kids are just like, they think that they can, they go to school to bully kids, and they also go to school to bully teachers. But also, in the same respect, the flip side is, teachers also go there to mistreat kids. But, and what provokes a teacher to hit a kid or punch out a kid in the mouth? I can mention a few things why a teacher would pop a kid in the mouth. And also, the teacher that got popped in the mouth by a girl, by a student, she's female, popped her in the mouth because the teacher, and that teacher didn't even, like she was like, what, like she's saying this, and she was so calm about it. If that would have been me, I would have beaten the shit out of her. But today, if you touch a kid today, it's like they'll arrest your freaking ass because you touch that kid. God forbid. Back in the days, if you even spoke to a teacher, they would whip your ass. Like not like today. Like there was so much respect. Like no, they wouldn't whip your ass like literally. But what I'm trying to say is, now they don't have that kind of. Teachers are actually very scared of students, and vice versa too. Like students, they feel like they can't go to their teachers because the teachers will, one, and not believe them, or two, they will, as we have seen, will criticize that child or even bully that child. So things have really changed throughout the years where, there's no kind of respect in the school system. And that's why parents now, you know, um, they try to keep their kids in the house, or, they try to homeschool them instead of taking them to school, because they fear that their child may be harmed, or they're not getting the education that they need, or because the teacher is, not a very positive teacher, and and then it goes on. A lot of things today are going on in the school system where, the school system itself has changed, and the idea of going to school before was that you go to school and it's to get an education. It's not that they don't do it today, but the whole system has changed, and kids now, in actuality, go to school now to bully other kids, or not even to learn. It's just like to disrespect. And some of them just go there. I'm saying some of them just go to school, so to make trouble is what I'm trying to say. So, a lot of the things that happen also in the schools is that most kids are very revengeful, and then they want to take out their revenge, their anger, because they have been bullied so much, and not really helped or counseled, that they become, they become very violent, and they want to take it out on all the innocent other kids who really don't have no kind of fault to what's going on. But sadly enough, yeah, the kids today, they really have no kind of guidance. We have parents who don't sit down with their kids at dinner and really talk to them, or study their behavior, or try to even to get involved with their kids and try to get involved in what their kids are doing. And it's a real shame because we are the ones who are losing our that generation of kids, where they no longer care about life, and they no longer care about education, and they no longer care about to be in school, because one, they're nervous or they're scared to go to school. Three, because they're constantly being bullied. And so we have so much issues going on with the kids today, even, kids who go to school and they're so bullied throughout the year that they commit suicide. And so, like so many things that we have heard, our school system really has and is failing our kids. And if the reason, if we're seeing that there's a decrease in school attendance, is because they really need to fix the issue as to why kids don't want to come to school. Why half of the kids are so angry that they go to school and they take it out on the teachers. And also for the same thing, teachers don't get a break. You understand? In the sense that, they're dealing with 30 plus kids, and each child has a different personality, and and they also have to deal with that on a daily basis. So that becomes a very difficult thing, but we really have to really go to committees, and go to meetings, go to the face to face with the teacher, and really try to focus our attention on what really is happening in the school system and why the school system is failing our kids, and also teachers as well. And that's why I feel that teachers do not get paid enough to have a student disrespect them at a level where even that student punches the teacher in the face. Now, I do have to admit that there's some teachers who really go overboard in what they do and what they say and how they handle their students, and it shouldn't even, that shouldn't even be, a factor in importance, because the kids are there to learn. They're not there to, be bullied, and they're not there also for teachers to bully and to criticize them. And it's become, this is like almost like a disease. You know what I mean? Like, how do we fix a broken system? How do we fix broken kids who go to school and they have so much problems at home that they come to school and they bring those very same problems to school? And so, and back in the days, we used to have, I don't even know if they even have counselors, psychiatrists or psychologists who can sit down with a child and observe their behavior and make it and address it to the parents as to why this is happening. Sometimes we want to solve problems by taking the kid away from a home. Not all kids really are abused at home. Some kids are because they could be very spoiled, or because maybe even a parent might be fearful of their own child. You know what I mean? And maybe those very things that they're reflecting in the school and in the classroom, many of the times is because many of them have anger management issues. And so, they are, and they do by example. You know what I mean? And so we all want to solve it by, getting this, whatever you call it, the CPA or whatever you want to call them. And we want to bring that to their attention. And sometimes what we do is, what the system does is that they destroy families and they break them apart, thinking that that is the best way. And really is that, uh, a system really, they can fix that by having, parents and child uh, go into a solution to trying to make it better by going to sessions, where maybe a psychologist can help them with their problem, and not always having to rely on the system to take away our kids and break a home, knowing that that child um, is having issues at home. Yeah, but there's always ways to resolve that, and there's always ways to do that by by talking to a psychologist, maybe taking that child to anger management, or maybe even perhaps discussing or talking to that child. You know, um, we always find the most easiest way because it's more convenient, and it really is an deeper issues that this child may have. Also, we have to have teachers who are better trained to try to control their anger as well. And if we see that maybe possibly this teacher is mistreating or criticizing a child where um, you know, that they feel like that teacher is not benefiting from the education of children, then maybe that teacher should not be working in a school if you don't know how to control your temper. Really, teachers are there like how many hours with, with kids, and it becomes very tiresome. Hi, Rodolfo. You feel like biting me. Why you feel like biting me, man? What, you Dracula or something? But in truth, yeah, that's very important. How we um, educate our kids, and also the fact that if we're teaching our kids to be better adults, and we want them to be better adults in society, and when they grow up and become adults, what happens is that, many of the times what we're showing them is that the only way to solve a problem is to be violent. And that's not the way to solve it. And that's where we go wrong, and it's a shame because kids today, they go home and all they walk into is a video game. Video games, or they go home, and they come to an empty home, and it's like that child really has no outlet, because there is no outlet, and the only outlet is video games or going out on the street, and you know seeking things that they shouldn't be seeking. And that's where the trouble lies many of the times. And so, I do believe strongly, like, I wasn't raised by my family. I was actually raised, I didn't have a father. So I was only raised by my mother, and most of the times my mother was working. She had like two jobs, but we were considered latchkey kids. I don't know if you were raised in the 70s and the 80s. It was very much mentioned, like the latchkey kid. And so what a latchkey kid is that you go home, and you have your own key, and you go home, and and you basically would take care of yourself, and not, of course, uh, protect yourself from not opening the door, but always a latchkey kid, would walk in groups, or would walk with your brother or your sister or whatever, and have your key, open it, and take care of yourself. And me and my sister were considered latchkey kids. Then we weren't the only latchkey kids, but that's how we survived. You understand? But kids today, it's like they don't have that. It's like they have parents, but parents don't come home, and they don't ask them, how was your day? What did you do in school? And what happened in school? And so, a lot of the parents, they work, and they totally forget that they need to be a little bit more traditional, and sit around the table and talk to their kids. Yeah, my eyes are red, like always. My eyes. Um, I'm still looking for my father. Who is my father? I don't know. My father died. My father died. He's deceased. But yeah, who is your father? I don't know. Who is your father? Do you even know his name? Because that would help you a lot. Like, I wasn't raised by my dad, so I was raised, with my mom, my sister, and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, like, School is very important, man, and how our kids turn out as adults is basically how they're going to, um, you know, how they're going to act as adults and in the workplace as well. And we find ourselves that um, kids would rather go violent, and it's a shame. It really is. I mean, I saw that today on Facebook. I was totally shocked. But yeah, there are a lot of things that are going on, and like we don't realize it, but our kids are, exposed to a lot of things that are acceptable in society today, and that they think that it's okay. Just like um, working as a stripper years ago was like a really not good thing. It's like wow. And today, working as a stripper, it's like when we the message that we bring out to girls is that this is an easy way out, easy job, you get lots of money, and that it's okay to be a stripper because you get good money, you know whereas years ago that wasn't even talked about. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, a lot of girls who go into this, like we got Cardi B, and we have like, who else? Black China, who, you know, and also Amber Rose, who made it through stripping, and and then they think that it's okay. Well, your dad is not that old. Oh, okay. But like today, the girls think that it's, and I am, like I'm surprised how girls today, they'll take a picture and they'll be showing their whole private parts, and today is like if you don't have a booty, you're not the shit. Let's just put it that way. If you're not dressed a certain way that's showing part of your body, then you're not sexy. And it's like, what are you teaching your girls? That it's okay to dress this way because this is how you will get attention, or this is the way that you can pay your bills faster. And no, it's not. We should be showing our girls that, having a decent job and not dressing, so provocatively, you know, uh, is also a good way. You know what I mean? That it's not. This is what we instill in our kids, that it's okay to look this certain way or act this certain way because that's what society accepts. And like I said years back, things like that were not acceptable. They weren't acceptable. They weren't looked, as a good thing. They were actually frowned upon because, that wasn't the norm, really. That's what I'm trying to say. But, um, girls before, they used to have a job, a receptionist job. Now, girls look way higher than that. It's like uh, they they would say to themselves, like Black China did it. They stripped. Well, why can't I? You know what I mean? And it's, little do they know that when you work in the strip industry, you know, um, you are exposed to drugs, you are exposed to weirdos doing shit to you that is really bad. And sometimes you don't even want to, sometimes I'm guessing that some of these girls who do strip, because of the money is so good, um, I'm also wondering if they ever stop working, when they're sick or something like that. But remember, like, Amber Rose, Black China, and Cardi B, these are women that made it. I mean, they made it, and they were strippers before they became famous. So this is what we're trying to tell our girls, our young girls who are growing, that having a strip life is basically okay, because if you, if you are good enough and you strip and you're good at it, they will give you good buco money to do exactly what you do, strip. And not all strippers make it to VIP. Is just what I want to, like, bring out there. Is not all strippers have VIP treatment, and some of them are treated like shit, actually. So that's basically it. So yeah, so let me go and see what my friend here, Rodolfo. I'm happy that you are here with me, if you still are, because I didn't even get to see your. Okay, well now I'm gonna. Yeah, my eyes are red. When I was born, my father was 17. He's not that old. So, wow, your dad, he was 17, and you, wow, were very little. So, yeah, so let me see my. So, yeah. Yeah, you were young. You were very young. So you've never seen your dad. Like, I saw my dad when I was, wow, man. And around my 30s, I mean, I wasn't even raised with I wasn't even raised by my dad. My dad was like, oh my God, like, he was such a flirt, and he was sleeping with women to women to women. So he was not a very good dad and not a very good example. So anyway, but we're all human and we all make mistakes. So what can I say? I don't know. How can you find your dad? I don't know. I mean, have you never seen your dad? Have you ever spoken to your mom about your dad at one point? Does she even know where your dad is? Does he even exist? Is he still alive? Interesting. Because oh God, this eye. When I was little, you know, I went to the Dominican Republic, and little did I know that my dad had like 6 more children. So he was really busy. He was really busy getting other women pregnant. So, you know. Anyway, oh my goodness. I am so sorry that, let me see. I'm still looking and find who is my dad. Well, that's easy. I mean, I don't even know where were you raised? Were you raised in Puerto Rico, or were you raised here, or, you know what I mean? Like, your dad, like, you don't have a picture of your dad? That would help. If you had a picture of your dad, that would help immensely. Oh, my eye, man. It was killing me. Yeah, like, that would help immensely. Like, if you have a dad and you have a picture of your dad, even if he is young, or, even if he was young, that could help you to find him. You know what I mean? Like old pictures of him. And that would be very, very helpful if if you're trying to look for your dad. You know what I mean? Also, like, always your family members will always try to, you know, help you out to see if maybe he's still alive. And so, yeah. But don't give up, man. I mean, really, come on. I mean, I didn't give up, to tell you the truth. I looked for my dad, and then at his last years, it was like, I'm almost happy that I found him, and we were able to have a closure in our life, and also in our relationship as father and daughter. Like I told you before, I wasn't really loved by my dad. When he first saw me, it was never like, you're my little girl. Actually, I was never anyone's little girl. So, Well, yeah, yeah, like, moms tend to do that, and they don't do that on purpose. They only do that because they don't want you to, to be hurt, and they don't want to hurt their child, or maybe they don't want to be questioned by their child as to what happened between their mom and their dad and why they no longer have their dad in their life. I can understand that because me and my sister and I, we were both like that until a certain age, and then our mom sat us down and told us like the story of what truly happened between my dad and my mom. You understand? Like I said, I was never daddy's little girl. And my sister, actually, she was, because she remembers like parts of, you know, our dad, loving her and giving her a nickname and Burin, Burin, Burin. And then when he met her years later, he said, yeah, right in front of me, he said, yeah, she's mine. I love her. Look at how pretty she is and this and that. And he told me right to my face, he says, I don't love you. He said that. He said, I don't love you. And I felt like, wow, oh my God, like, how can you tell me that? Like, even today, I feel really bad when like, wow, you're saying that to your youngest daughter, and I was like, I had like this vision of my dad loving me and caring for me, and me being his little princess or his little girl or whatever, but I was never that. So I don't, I do feel bad, but I don't feel like that's going to destroy my life, or that has destroyed my life, or, I could have taken the other way and said, well, fuck you, and been a real rebel. I really was, until I became mature enough to understand that, you know, it just was like that because I wasn't raised by my dad. And, well, neither was my sister, but, um, I don't know, maybe he really meant it, like I always said to myself, even, even when, when I last saw him, I went to his house and he had his wife with him. Well, not really his wife, but his lady love. And he never really hugged me. He never really, acknowledged, how much he loved me. He never really said that he loved me. He never said, Maria, I love you. Never. So I was, kind of like, I had this idea, and then it totally crushed me when he said, I don't love you. So that totally crushed me to pieces when he said that. But that was okay because, many of my family wanted me to accept the fact that I had a dad and that I should respect him. I had no kind of respect for my dad, not whatsoever. I never had any respect for the person he was. And so, I totally forgave him for the asshole that he was. And that's why when you have your child and you think that you not being present at anything your child does, even the most smallest thing, should be praised, and should be acknowledged. And you should also acknowledge your sons or your daughters for their great achievements, even though you were never there. And just accept and really move on, or accept and really learn to own up to the fact that you were not there when they most needed you. No dad should ever be a deadbeat dad. It's the most horrible feeling in the world to be a deadbeat dad. Because not only do children depend and look up to you as their example or their heroes, but they also follow. It's like they look at their dad or their mom and they follow, like if my dad never loved me, well, why should I love my kid? You know what I mean? Or if my dad never had respect for my mom, well, why should I have respect for my mom? You know what I mean? It's so important that fathers, especially, always be involved in their child's life. You don't know the impact that you make in your child's life. I wish that I had had my dad. Like I never had my sweet 16. I never danced with my dad. I never, I didn't have, like I didn't have those father-daughter moments. It's so beautiful when you do have that father-daughter moments, and that child knows that you that she will always be your everything and your baby and whatever, and if you acknowledge that and accept that and just, and let her know, or him, even your baby boy, let them know that you really love them, and even though you weren't part of their life, that you are and always will be proud of them. You know what I mean? Another thing too is that, a lot of the times when you are a child that is sick or has been sick or was born sick, sometimes things are not as expected of you. Like people, like parents don't expect too much from you because basically you were a sick child. Sometimes that child may surprise you, by the way, because the thing is that parents never expect the sick child to be successful or to even, be where they're at today. And, it's a shame. And we shouldn't really make a difference. We should really be proud of our child and be proud of the things that they do and be more involved and more active in what they do, because they at the long run they will need you, and they're going to look at you and they're going to say, okay, my dad really, really was there for me. He was really there for me, and he really, really tried, you know? And that's the thing. You should always try and not just fake it or whatever. It's very horrible when your child, stands alone and they know that, they have a father and their father is not present in what they do, you know? So, and sometimes, like they say, you don't really have to be a mother and a father, biological. No, you don't. It really is about how you really care about that child, how you raise that child, and the morals and the education, the bad nights, that you had with that child, fevers, colds, flus, chicken pox, you name it, even when, first love, or, you know what I mean? Like those things really matter. Just saying, you know what I mean? So Rodolfo, he was 17. I'm supposing that someone of your family must have a picture of your dad. Okay? So hopefully that, you can, there are many ways to find your dad through the computer if you have a computer, But, yeah, it's important. It's very important. Especially when you're a girl, a young girl. There's always such a great thing about having a dad is that you can always depend on your dad to protect you, and you can also depend on your dad to give you great advice regarding men. You know what I mean? If I had had my dad, maybe perhaps I would have managed my relationships a little bit more better and would have known better of how, what to look out for, how to look for them in the signs, and, and how to develop better relationships with, with your other half. Because that's what fathers do. They really teach their girls that, about how they should treat their men. And in reality, it really is how that dad communicates with his daughter or his son. You understand? Many of it has to do with communication and how you communicate with your child. So, there you go. I know it sounds kind of like, nah, that, like you think that you have tried, but you haven't, you know? Anyway. So, Rodolfo, what's up? He has such a cute grandson. His grandson is so cute. I saw him on Facebook. What a cute little grandson you have. So adorable. My God. He's such a cute little kid. He looks like you, Rodolfo. He looks just like he looks just like his granddad. So, like I said before, like if you want to follow me at YouTube. This is actually a very long video. And I really don't erase my long videos, but if you have nothing better else to do with your time and you're just like freaking bored out of your ass, watch my videos, man. Give my videos a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. Subscribe. Remember, there is a ding-a-ling-a-ling. There is a bell right underneath the subscribe button. There's a bell so that you can keep up with me when I go on live, which is not much. But I think I'm gonna stick with YouTube because Facebook is getting a little bit on my nerves. So I hope that you join me the next time. I really am thinking about how many times I want to do live with Maria, because it seems to me like if maybe perhaps I would be online, like if I would be on here on YouTube more often, then maybe I can pick up the audience and maybe they can you know subscribe more. And really, like, what can a subscription do for me? mm, not much, only but give me more ratings, or not ratings, but more views. So yeah, that's important, but I don't think it's that important if you subscribe, and maybe we can go back and forth and talk. Yeah, my dad was 75. You don't know that. I mean, the only way to know that if you go to Puerto Rico, or if and see if you can speak to a family member. Maybe that family member can help you to look for him. You know what I mean? My dad was 75, so you can't be all that bad if you're 75. Okay. So can't be that bad. My dad, I'm so sleepy. My dad was 75. Yes, you can't be that bad if you're 75 years old. But what I was trying to say, if you're 71 years old, you're up there. You know what I mean? But not really. So your chances of him being alive might be good. Your chances might be good. I don't know. When my dad turned 75, I went to the Dominican Republic, and he was 75 years old, and he died pretty old too. So, but anyway, oh, I'm tired. Like I said, I might be, coming in more often, just because, like I feel like Facebook is not that great. My mom never told me who is my father's side of the family. And she never told you who were your family members on your father's side. Well, do you have relatives from your mother's side? Because I'm sure that if you do, they could possibly help you out. And they can help you out. They must have some kind of pictures or something like that of your dad. So, and how did your sisters, like, I know you have a sister. So why don't you even ask her? Because how did she get to the point where, okay, you know what I'm trying to say. Do you have sisters? That's what I'm trying to say. If you have sisters, then maybe you should get some information from them because then you might have something going on if if your sisters know something. So there. Yeah, 'cause I'm falling asleep. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So yeah. But anyway, don't make me fall asleep. Like 5 days, not. I won't be here like 5 days a week. You know what I mean? But I want to pick up my audience, or if I don't even pick up anyone, like I have only you guys who are looking at me right now. But yeah, like I should really try. Wait, I should really try to. Oh my God, like, this is terrible. Let me see something. Like I should really try to be more frequent in my, my videos. Yeah, my videos. Like I only come once in a while. I don't frequent my page, and so I really should try to see if I can come occasionally or more frequently on YouTube. So anyway, so yeah, so make sure, I'm gonna try and see if I can come on live tomorrow as well. And let's see what happens. Like we can still talk and um talk about things that just random things. We don't really have to talk about a specific subject, but we could talk about random things, and just like chill out. Like Thanksgiving is coming up. So I hope that you guys have something planned for Thanksgiving, and I'm planning on going to San Diego if I can. I already said it, so now I know it's not going to happen. But anyway, like I want to go to San Diego. I want to see my mom, who I haven't seen in a gazillion years. And I want to try to see if I can see her on Thanksgiving. So yeah, so if we can just stay tuned to that, to Thanksgiving, and then we have Christmas going on, and so forth and so forth. So hopefully, people, you can stay tuned, and please stay tuned to Live with Maria, and also Mawipa social media. And I hope that everybody has a great evening. Rodolfo, go to sleep. It's late. Okay? I don't even know why you're up, Rodolfo. Why are you up? Because you already saw me. You know what time is it? It's 1:46. So anyway. Oh my goodness. So everyone, peace out. Take care. I love you very, very much. Take care. Thank you for tuning in. Okay? Okay. Okay. Mm. Mm. Oh, watch. It's early. No, it's not. Late. Don't leave. Okay, so you better. Yeah, I'm sleepy right now. Like I'm talking a lot of shit right now. Just like if I close my eyes, I'm talking a lot of garbage. That people are gonna say, "What the hell was she just saying?" And I don't want to sleep. I don't want to sleep on video because then people are gonna start laughing, and it's like, oh, she went to sleep. You understand? But I do feel good and better. I less drama on YouTube. Like dang, like Facebook is so like full of dramatic people, and so I want to be drama free. I want to be drama free. But people, thank you so very much for tuning in. Love you much, and take care. Okay. Mwah. I love you. Bye. Bye, Rodolfo. Take care. Bye, guys.